What's going on, guys? So tonight we're going to be going over a couple misconceptions and a couple mistakes that a lot of new beginner archers make, as well as longtime archers. These are going to be things that can physically affect your shooting and your body, as well as your accuracy and all in all repetition. And so that's just going to be kind of this video. Follow along and we'll get right into it. All right, so this first one, I see it all the time. It's people trying to draw their bows down here because they're either pulling too much weight or they haven't figured out a proper way to do it. I don't even know if I can draw this back from back here, and I'm kind of nervous because I'm scared to like mess up my arm. Oh, but people drawing back from down there, first of all, this doesn't, you're not using any leverage when you do that, right? So you're putting a lot of strain on your shoulder and on your arm to try and pull that weight back. And like I said, you see it very common in a lot of people when they're first starting out, they're drawing too much weight back and those sort of situations. So what we want to do, and what I've talked to many different archers about, a lot of different pro shop guys about, and what you'll see out of, if you watch the pros and all those sorts of people, you will see using your bow as leverage. So obviously we all know our bow weighs something, right? Whether that be little or a lot. So using your bow for leverage, it looks a little bit something like this. So I usually like to come up. I'm not going super high, but I'm coming up and I'm dropping that bow as I pull back. Because now I'm taking the stress off my back shoulder and allowing the weight of the bow and pulling with my back instead of my shoulder to draw to actually put myself at full draw. So we'll release this arrow real quick. All right, and then this second one, and I see so many people make fun of this all over the place. I don't make fun of it myself. I try not to laugh at it, but it's going to be what's called a sky draw. This is also something that you don't really want to do because, one, why would I ever want to be up here? What is this gonna, you see how much distance I now have to bring my bow down just to get it to where it needs to go? So when people, again, when you're drawing too much weight, they will go really high, and then they'll draw their bow back like that. First of all, if you're hunting and you're under a tree and you raise your bow up, you're gonna more than likely smack a tree.
And scare your game.
Yeah. Let me just release this arrow real quick so I can. All right. So please do not sky draw or be drawing down here because it's not doing anything for you. If you're drawing too much weight, don't be afraid to drop it down while you're starting out. I mean, when I first started getting into archery, I started at 50-pound draw, the lowest my bow would go. And I've slowly raised myself up to now I'm at 70 pounds because I've been able to get down the mechanics of drawing my bow back to where now I'm comfortable drawing 70 pounds. I'm not typically the type of person that gets in the gym, so I'm not lifting any more heavy weights, not doing anything like that. I've just learned over time, and I started myself out at a point where I could learn the right mechanics to be able to get my bow drawn back. And then also don't sky draw, okay? Cut it out. You can lift your bow a little bit and draw it back. You ain't need to be reaching for the sky or nothing like that. Just simple drop and draw, okay? Just a nice little drop and draw. All right, next thing we're gonna be talking about is anchor point. Your anchor point is where your trigger hand or your release hand sits every time you draw. A lot of people, it's right here where their jaw crease is. It's a good indicator that you're in the spot that you're always gonna be in. Mine is right in that anchor, but almost my cheek area more. Some people like it a little bit lower, some people like it a little bit higher. I'm right here in the cheek. So every single time I draw, right, I'm up here, I draw back, and I'm in my cheek, right? So now, when I go to shoot, all it is I'm in my anchor point, I got my sight on the target, and I'm releasing, right? And you're pulling through the shot. But we'll get into that here in a second. Because right now, we're talking about anchor points. So every single time, and you want this to be so ingrained in your brain that you could sit there in your car while you're driving, and you could raise your hands up and you're right there, right? Every single time. That's gonna be a huge thing when it comes to consistency in your shots, is anchor point. Okay, now my sight's on. Release. Find your anchor point, get it dialed. This is all, like I said, going along with the mechanics. This is what's gonna separate you from your weekend warrior hunter to somebody that's never going to miss. Because you know that you've got the mechanics down, and that's what I feel like a lot of people in the archery world, whether it's beginners or pros, they worry so much about what you're shooting, right? What your bow is, what arrows you're shooting, this, that, the other, and they oftentimes skip over the mechanics of bow shooting. So don't overlook it. It's gonna save you maybe missing that deer in the season, maybe missing that elk in the season. If you're a target shooter, could separate you from a freaking 12 to an 8, you know, just the mechanics alone. Just getting those dialed in is going to help you out a lot. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about now is what you do after you shoot, right? After you're full drawn, sorry, not after you shoot, after you're full drawn. After you're full drawn, what's the next step? You know, we're back here. We figured out how to draw the bow, right? We lift up a little bit, we draw back. We figured out anchor point now. I'm now anchored, I'm good to go. What are we gonna do when we go to, you know, pull the trigger or pull the thumb? And a lot of people, you'll hear it all the time. Oh, they're punching the trigger, they're punching it. What that means is you're on target and you're not pulling through the shot, right? You're just hitting the trigger. That's called punching it. So what we're gonna do, since we're at full draw, is we're now going to act like we've got so much back tension in our shot that our hand has nowhere else to go but back, right? So we're here, got the target, and we're pulling through the shot because your back is so tense that you're now pulling through, okay? That's also gonna be a huge thing. When you're punching your shot, you could be torquing, you could be, sorry, torquing. What are we doing here? No, I'm just kidding. You could be torquing your bow. You could be pulling on it. You could be, you know, any little thing to throw that arrow off, right? So we're gonna pull through straight back in order to get the straightest flight forward, right? So that's a little insight on punching your release rather than pulling through your shot. We're going to show you some examples now of what we mean by punching the shot versus pulling through your shot. All right, so in that first video, you can see I kind of just hit the release super quick. Whereas in that second video, I'm pulling all the way through as I shoot, and I'm breaking away basically. So I'm up, I'm back, I shoot, I pull, and I break away. Because of the tension, I'm wanting to follow through that shot. So like I said, be aware of when you're punching your release versus when you're actually pulling through your shot. All right, guys, so that's the tips we've got for right now. Stay tuned to more, and make sure you're getting out there and shooting more and practicing these tips. Go. All right, guys, you have, if I check my watch here, You have 3 more days to get entered. Get your subscriptions in, get your likes, your follows, your comments, all that sorts of stuff across all platform medias. We are on Instagram at rift.archery. We are on YouTube at Rift Archery, and we are on TikTok at rift.archery as well. So go out there, like, subscribe, follow, comment, tag some friends in there. We only have 3 more days. Again, we are doing the giveaway. We're switching it up a little bit. So we've gone from some VAP TKO arrows to now we're going to be giving away Ultra arrows. These Ultra arrows are, from what I've heard, the best in the game. So I figured I'd give you guys the best. And like I said, get out there, like, subscribe, follow. We hope to see you guys out here watching more videos, and comment if you guys want us to meet up with you. Let's do some shoots or something like that. And I want to build a huge community of you guys. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.